Now, in high definition, sponsored by Nissan of Lake Charles. This is 7 News Nightcast.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Nightcast. I'm Gerron Jordan. Lee Peck has the night off. We begin tonight with a developing story. Many of you in the lake area have heard sirens going off within the last hour. Right now, it is not believed to be an incident that warranted those sirens. OEP Director Dick Grimion tells us the sirens appear to have originated at the National Guard Armory building near First Avenue. OEP and a number of local agencies are investigating why those sirens went off. Again, there is no reason to believe that there is any situation going on. For now, it seems that a few of those sirens were activated accidentally. Of course, this is a fluid situation. We'll update you as more information is made available. Well, it was a busy day for first responders in Lake Charles today as firefighters battled 2 structure fires that left nothing but charred debris. Homeowners say it only took seconds for flames to engulf a South Lake Charles home this afternoon. Fortunately, everyone inside was able to get out safely, but left behind was a family pet.
What am I gonna do?
A single mother of 3 is left asking why after a fire ripped through her home on Bonita Drive in Lake Charles, leaving nothing behind.
No pictures, no birth certificates, nothing at all. No clothes. I had no clothes for work, no clothes for school tomorrow, nothing.
Rachel Brister says she was outside working on her car with a neighbor when
the kids come running and said the house was on fire, so we went in, and by then it was too late. The kitchen was inflamed. It just that fast.
Dispatchers with the Lake Charles Fire Department received the first call for the fire at 2:22 p.m. When fire crews arrived, the home was completely involved. A lack of water sources in the area prompted dispatchers to call in mutual aid for tankers, and while they're investigating the exact cause of the fire, Brister thinks she knows what may have sparked it.
My aunt told me that she had put some grease to do some French fries, and she had walked out the back door.
While no human life was lost in the blaze, a family pet was killed in the fire.
I had a boxer, and the last I seen him, when I walked in there and seen the kitchen just inflamed, I seen him on the couch, and I don't remember seeing him again. And it was just, it's gone, everything.
The American Red Cross was on the scene to begin the process of helping the Brister family. Meanwhile, a second fire just 3 miles away destroyed a church, and it wasn't the first time they've gone through a disaster. KPLC's Monica Grimaldo has the story.
Members of St. John the Divine Orthodox Christian Church on Benny Lane in Lake Charles tried to salvage everything they could after a fire destroyed their building.
Of course, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty certain that the damage is total.
Members say the fire happened after an early morning service at around 11:30 a.m. The Lake Charles Fire Department says no one was inside when the fire broke out, and it appeared to have started towards the back of the church near the altar. But for members, seeing disaster strike wasn't a first.
The building itself suffered fairly extensive damage with one of the hurricanes about 5-6 years ago. And we had to refurbish the entire inside, the roof, the walls, everything has been refurbished new in it.
They had the inner altar, the outer altar, the Holy of Holies and everything, and it was so beautiful, and we were here every day for 7 months till they rebuilt it.
Now, as they pick up the pieces for the second time, members say they still have hope.
Everything is going to be all right because we're going to try and rebuild it like we did before. Yes. And that will be a wonderful place.
In the Orthodox Church, the church structure is a home for us. It's like our house, you know. And to see that is just it breaks your heart, you know. It's just awful. But God willing, we have a resilient group of people here, and we're going to go back and rebuild it and have us a new church. So we're not giving up on it, no.
At your service, Monica Grimaldo, KPLC 7 News.
And the cause of both of today's fires remain under investigation. Well, what a difference a few days make. It was a beautiful day today, but is another winter storm on its way? For that answer and much more, we turn now to 7 Storm Team meteorologist Zach Fradella. Zach?
It was a beautiful day. You're right about that, but unfortunately, it's not going to change. A winter storm watch is in effect in regards to the next winter storm that could affect the southwestern Louisiana area over the next couple of days. Let's take a look at that winter storm watch. You can see this runs from late Monday night into Tuesday night. It includes the entire area, basically all the way from Vernon Parish down to the coast. You are under this winter storm watch. Now, we're not often put under winter storm watches, so what does this mean? Well, it means 2 inches or greater of snow accumulation. That could be a combination of snow or ice, a 1/4 of an inch of ice accumulation or greater, and then obviously travel impacts will be likely with this situation. Now, current temperatures outside right now, 57 degrees in Lake Charles, 53 in Opelousas, 56 in DeRidder. You could see the temperatures are much warmer than they have been. So that might allow for some fog to develop later on tonight as moisture returns. And then you can see as we head throughout the night, only going to fall into the low 50s. A quick warm up early tomorrow morning, but then we get the Arctic front pushing through, and those temperatures are going to fall right back down into the 40s tomorrow afternoon. I'll have those full details about your Monday, and then obviously the winter storm that could be possible on Tuesday in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Zach. Well, that threat of another round of winter weather has already prompted at least one lake area cancellation. We're told the DAV ride that usually transports disabled veterans from Lake Charles to Alexandria will not run on Tuesday and Wednesday. Organizers with the ride urge any veterans with appointments on Tuesday or Wednesday to reschedule them. And we are already compiling a list of closures. Just visit KPLC-TV.com for all of the latest information. Well, new on Nightcast, Women's and Children's Hospital in Lake Charles gets a new name. Lake Area Medical Center is the new name, and longtime residents may recall that name was used in the 90s, but at that time the hospital was under a different ownership. Current hospital executives say this time the name is the only thing that's changed, and say ownership, leadership teams, and most importantly services remain in place. The name change is effective as of today. Also in effect today, if you have a letter to send in the mail, it's going to cost you some more. The Postal Service is raising the cost of mailing a first-class letter from 46 cents to 49 cents. The 3-cent increase is the largest single hike in more than a decade. The Postal Service has lost money for 7 years straight, including a $5 billion hit in the last fiscal year. The changes are causing mixed reaction from Lake area residents.
I use mail every single day. I mail letters, cards, bills. So I know the internet's trying to take over everything, but there's still people that do come to the post office and use it daily. So if it happens, so be it. I wish it wouldn't, but if it has to happen, it has to happen.
The cost will stay in place until 2016. Pine Shadows Golf Course is shutting its doors after nearly 30 years in Lake Charles. Community members were out saying their goodbyes this weekend. KPLC's Haley Rush was there and is in the studio now with more.
Yes, Gerron, I went to the final golf tournament at Pine Shadows Golf Course. While it was a celebration, there were also some tears, and I spoke to the owners and regulars who shared memories and thoughts on why they think the longtime business is closing. When asked to describe Pine Shadows Golf Course in 3 words, family, friendly, and community came to most people's mind.
It is heartwarming to hear everybody's stories of how this is where they grew up or this is where the first time they played golf.
And for the Ryder family, it's not just a business, but 3 decades of memories.
My dad has 7 grandkids, and they're always out here either hitting balls with them or fishing and doing things like that.
The golf course closes next week, but before then, it's a farewell tournament to the mom and pop shop. The amount of cars shows the amount of support for the golf course as the community comes to say their goodbyes. Pine Shadows owners say Tiger Woods created an economic boom for golf, which brought on too many courses being built. Since 2006, 500 golf courses have closed, and the National Golf Foundation predicts a net loss of about 150 courses per year in the future.
So now you have, especially like in our area, you have 6 golf courses and 7 golf courses within, a 20-mile radius.
But others say it's simply a support problem for family-owned businesses in the lake area.
It's not a casino course, it's not a municipal course, and those places receive other funds and are able to stay afloat.
It aggravates me that people continue to shop with the big stores and the big companies and don't pay enough attention to people that are struggling on a day-to-day basis.
But there's no doubt of the support in this room as the community shares memories of not just a golf course, but a second home.
It's a sad day, not just for Pine Shadows and not just for him and his family, but for the surrounding area.
Pine Shadows owners did stress that this was not something they wanted to happen, but they fought to keep the business going until the very end. January 31st will be the last day open for the business. At your service, Haley Rush, KPLC-7 News.
Coming up after the break, the president is preparing to address the country again for the State of the Union address. And you've heard of a dog show. Well, what about a cat show? That's exactly what happened in Benton today. We'll have that and more when Nightcast continues.